Oh, you're serious? Ah, thank you. guys. I cannot believe that. The bloody microphone wasn't turned on. This is live. Anything can happen. Well, that's interesting. So you saw a puppet show for about 4 minutes, which is great, and I didn't answer any questions. Please check your sound. Thank you so much. Uh, oh my God, what a silly faux pas. Same here. Good morning. Now I can hear you. Can you guys hear me now? There is echo. There's an echo. Yeah, I can't change the echo, I'm afraid. Let me move the mic a little bit closer. All right, before I continue, just pop it in the comments whether you can hear me now. Sorry, Instagram, I know that I've got my mic on, so it's perfect for you guys. But for YouTube and Facebook, it was silent. You're inaudible. Great. Good morning. Great. So looks like we've got sound now. Thank you for letting me know, guys. I really, really appreciate that. Otherwise, I never would have known. All right, Ice, can you tell me, thank you for being here. Tell me if you can hear me now and if the echo has gone. Let me just check my settings here. This is what happens when you're live, guys. Anything can happen. This is not pre-recorded, as you hear. I'm using my internal speakers and I'm using my ATR, so that's pretty good. All right, can't see any more comments, so let's continue. Now, yes, we can hear you, but there is an echo. There's nothing much I can do about that. My microphone is on properly. Wonder if I can start the broadcast again and fix that. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'll continue because I'm not quite sure how to fix the echo or how bad it is. The microphone is in usually pretty much the same place it always is. Okay, can hear you. Great. All right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. All right, great. Let's start back from the beginning. Sorry about that interruption, guys. Apparently, the microphone was not on. These things happen. All right, let's start again. It's Q&A Wednesday, and I'm here to answer 3 questions from my channel. 1 is about getting a deeper voice. 2 is about jaw tension. And 3 is about how to make your voice sound not mumbly, boring, or monotone, because the last lady is struggling with being an introvert. So if any of that resonates with you, stick around. Here's what we're going to do. This is live on the Voice of Confidence TV. Thank you for letting me know that you couldn't hear me. Otherwise, how would I know? I would have gone for half an hour. Thank you so much for being on my side. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it looks like everybody can hear me now. Things happen when you go live. Yeah, exactly. This is live. That's what it's all about. That's why live is actually fun. And that's why I love doing musical theater and plays, because you never know what's going to happen on the stage. Shit happens. It absolutely does. And the show must go on. So let's continue. Now, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by no microphone. The very first question was about how do I get a deeper voice? Sorry, we're repeating on Instagram here, but you'll just have to hang with that. So the first lady was saying, is your deep voice video, which is going crazy on YouTube, is that video applicable to singing as well as speaking? Great. Yes, it is. All I was talking about in the deep voice video on my channel, The Voice of Confidence TV, is how do you make your voice deeper so you can have more authority? That's what we need to do, right? So when we want to do that as a speaker, we simply drop the larynx to drop the pitch, and then we project the sound forward in a lower pitch. That way you've got that full projection of sound at the same time. So we've got a projection of sound and a deeper voice all at the same time, and that gives you the sound of authority. Now, in singing, what that dropped larynx and open pharynx does is it gives you a fatter, richer, more grown-up sound. If you remember a beautiful young singer on America's Got Talent or The Voice or something, Jackie Evancho was her name, and she was 11 when she sang, and she came out like this little princess in a little tutu sort of thing, very much a tiny little child, gorgeous little child. And then when she sang, oh, it was, you close your eyes and you swear it's a 30-year-old singing. Like, honestly, it was unbelievable because she was trained by an opera singer. Way too young. but she was trained as an opera singer. So let's give it a little road test for a second. Let's open our throat, drop the larynx, and speak or hold, sustain a note, and then we're going to drop the larynx and go to the deeper notes after that. Ready? Hum. Go lower. Hum. Lower. Hum. Lower. Hum. See, if we drop the jaw and dip the tongue and drop the larynx all at the same time, you go lower and lower and lower, and your voice gets richer and fatter and very deep. And yes, you can do it anytime in speaking and anytime in singing. But here's the interesting thing about the singing part. I'm going to demonstrate again. Sorry, Instagram. Again, one particular note in mid larynx position or neutral larynx position, and then I'm going to do the exact same note with a dropped larynx. Are you ready? This is high larynx position. You can hear how bright it is. It's bright because the sound is closer. The sound source is closer to the opening of the mouth, right? Now, I should be showing this question because that's the very first one. So when I have a high larynx position or a mid larynx position, the sound is going to be very bright with singing. Now, if I do the same note and drop the larynx this time, listen to the difference. You can hear how it sounds fatter, richer, and deeper, but it's the same pitch. It's exactly the same pitch. I did not change the pitch at all. So if you want a fatter singing voice, you can pinch that little technique from classical singing. That's what opera singers and classical singers do all the time. They open their pharynx muscles, the throat muscles here, and they drop the larynx, which is the voice box, to a low position. You can do that when you're speaking, and you can do it when you're singing. And if I sang the same song with a high larynx position and a low larynx position, they would sound very different, because one is going to sound rich and fat and older, and the other one is going to sound young and poppy and thin sounding. But that's great because that means that we can change the color of our voice anytime we want. Let's pop over to the comments for a second. Great. Okay, awesome. Good to hear. So I hope that solved that issue for you. This was a young lady on my channel asking whether the deep voice tips that I gave in my deep voice video on YouTube was applicable to singing as well as speaking. The answer is yes. Let's move on. The next one is about jaw tension. Now, this person is struggling with jaw tension, and she said she has strong jaw muscles. What exercises do you recommend? Well, here's why sometimes we have strong jaw muscles. Everything in voice, everything that affects our voice comes from our psychology. Let me say that again, because it might come as a shock to some of you. Everything that affects our voice, speaking and singing, comes from our psychology. It doesn't come necessarily from a voice issue. Now, disclaimer, if you have nodules because you've been pushing or abusing your voice, or you have some weird pathological voice issue, like muscle tension dysphonia or something else, there could be a pathological issue behind your voice issue. But most of the time, 98% of the time, when I see people in my studio, they are always struggling with a psychological issue that has manifested as tension. This is no different. When you have jaw tension, because I had a lot of jaw tension, I can tell you, years ago when I was angry and I couldn't speak my mind, I would grit my jaw like this and clench my fists. And I would be so angry, but I was so shy and insecure that I didn't know how to speak up and out for myself. So I created a lot of jaw tension, and I would grind my teeth, and I ground actually all the enamel off my teeth. It's that bad, right? I'm more aware of it these days, but before it was really bad. I used to have massive headaches from this jaw tension, terrible stuff. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your fingers in your TMJ, and I want you to pull those little muscles. So it's a little dip. And if you put your fingers in that dip where the jaw, the mandula, I think it's called, this attaches to the skull, and then you feel that the jaw comes down. When it comes down into the second position, which is too wide, we can feel the jaw sort of drop and dislocate forward. Those little muscles and ligaments in there are really tight for some people. So you're going to get in there and pull it down like that as you're doing a yawn or just a drop jaw motion, and pull that tension down. And what that's doing, and it actually hurts. It stretches out those muscles that are holding the jaw tight, because when we're not aware of our tension patterns around not speaking up, that is going to grip and hold your jaw shut. And what I find over time with all of my students, if they're shy, if they're insecure, if they're an introvert, and they grew up in a situation where it wasn't really accepted to speak up and out for yourself, you're going to keep your mouth shut when you speak. That is going to create jaw tension. So you need to be very aware of the tension around this area, because that is going to affect your voice. So do yawning, do those stretching exercises. Make sure your tongue's not getting in the way. You can do articulation exercises. Ooh, wee, ooh, wee. Ah, do lots of yawns and get that moving, because you can let go of that jaw tension. It's absolutely under our control, but you have to be aware of what's creating the tension in the first place. And some people are not. So if you know where it's come from, thank you. I don't have that problem anymore. I'm an adult. I can make better choices for myself. I can speak up and out for myself. I'm not going to grip my jaw anymore. Breathe and speak your truth. Your jaw tension will go away. Guaranteed. It did for me. Let's check out the comments just quickly. And then we're going to go on to the last question. The biggest sounds, okay, great. So we've got a comment from my channel, and Mr. X, I think the biggest sound sounds brighter. Interesting. I didn't even know that sounds brighter. To me, in my head, it sounds bigger and richer, but it didn't sound brighter or pointy. Whereas the high larynx position sounds more pointy and more resonant and rich. But thank you for that comment. Very interesting. Great. Let's move on to the third question today. Now, this was a multi-pronged question. It was too big to fit in this banner. This lady says that she's grown up very shy as a child. And when I was very young, some of my classmates made fun of me because of my effeminate voice. Now, actually, I don't know. I think it's a lady. Let me just double check on that. Oh, it doesn't say. Okay. And then she goes on to continue, or he goes on to continue. At 20 years old, I'm still introverted. People say my voice sounds mumbly and lifeless and flat. Is this because I don't speak much because I'm shy and so I don't get a lot of voice usage? What a great question. This is another issue. Again, we're talking about psychology, remember here. When we're talking about psychology, it really affects the voice in a major way. What we need to do is first find our confidence on the inside. When you're confident and you're living your truth and being authentic, you're not going to worry about how you sound. You're going to be able to use lots of different notes like I'm using now. And I don't care if you like it or not, because I'm not attached to your perspective of my voice. I want to speak my truth, and I want to be able to express myself fully. And when you live from that space, your voice will come alive. Your voice will light up the room. Your energy and enthusiasm will light up the room because you're not holding yourself back. So yes, you need to speak up. Yes, you need to converse with more people in your life. That communication will strengthen your voice. Absolutely. Singing will also strengthen your voice. All of those things will help. But the biggest thing you've got to do is work on the inside. Work on your confidence, work on your self-esteem. That's going to be the best step forward for you. And then your voice won't be lifeless anymore. If you were playing with a child and you didn't worry about how they were going to react to you, I bet you would have a lot of fun. Hi, little puppy, isn't that cute? Oh, look at the flower. We would allow ourselves to be ourselves, because the child, we know, is not going to judge us. So think about that and think about how that concept in your mind is affecting your voice. I hope you've enjoyed this today. I'm Elisa James, holistic voice and performance coach. I'm here live every Wednesday. And this Wednesday was a bit weird, but that's okay. These things all happen. We are live on the Voice of Confidence TV and YouTube. If you like the content of my channel and you want some help as a speaker, a singer, or an actor, go over to the Voice of Confidence TV and check out the channel there. There are so many videos. You will get so much value. I've got to pop off because I've got a client right now because I was late this morning because my microphone didn't work. But these things happen. Let me know underneath if you enjoyed this live cast today and where you're coming in from. If you have got any questions, I will answer them next time. I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.